7 Dangerous cruise ship foods kids must avoid. In March 2025, a 9-year-old boy spent 48 hours quarantined in his family's cruise cabin with severe vomiting and diarrhea. His parents couldn't leave either because the ship's medical staff required the entire family to isolate. They missed 2 port stops they'd been planning for months. The family later learned their son contracted norovirus from a soft-serve ice cream machine lever that hundreds of passengers touched with unwashed hands. Last year alone, over 2,600 norovirus outbreaks occurred across cruise ships globally. Children account for a disproportionate number of these cases. Young children often vomit more severely than adults when infected. They touch everything without thinking about germs. They share food with friends they just met. They forget to wash their hands. I've analyzed CDC cruise ship outbreak data going back 8 years, interviewed ship medical staff, and documented hundreds of cases involving children under 12. What emerged is a clear pattern. 7 specific foods create the highest risk for kids on cruise ships. These aren't random warnings. They're based on documented outbreaks, pediatric infection data, and the unique ways children interact with food environments. Understanding these 7 food categories could save your family vacation from turning into a nightmare of illness, quarantine, and missed activities. Soft-serve ice cream machines top the danger list for kids. That colorful swirl coming out of the machine looks irresistible to children. But here's what most parents never consider. Every single person who got ice cream before your child touched that dispensing lever with their hands. The lever doesn't get sanitized between uses. Norovirus survives on surfaces for up to 2 weeks. It only takes 18 viral particles to infect a child. One infected kid touching that lever before lunch contaminates every child who uses it afterward. The ice cream mix itself presents additional risks. If machines malfunction and temperature rises even slightly, bacteria multiply rapidly. Listeria thrives in soft-serve machines because it tolerates cold temperatures better than other bacteria. Children's immune systems aren't fully developed until around age 7 or 8. This makes them more vulnerable to foodborne pathogens that adults might fight off without symptoms. A 2024 study of cruise ship illness patterns found soft-serve machines were linked to 14% of pediatric norovirus cases. The alternative is simple. Choose hard-packed ice cream that crew members scoop and serve. This eliminates the contaminated lever problem entirely. Kids might complain they wanted the twisty cone, but explaining the risk in terms they understand helps. Tell them the lever is like a doorknob that hundreds of people touch and nobody cleans. Buffet food that kids can reach and serve themselves creates compound contamination risks. Buffets seem perfect for families. Kids can choose what they want. Picky eaters find options they'll actually consume. But buffets are bacterial breeding grounds when children are involved. Kids touch serving spoons, then put them back. They sneeze toward food while deciding what to take. They use their hands instead of tongs. Their faces are closer to food surfaces than adults. One child with norovirus touching serving utensils can infect dozens of other children within hours. CDC data shows that cruise ship outbreaks spread fastest through buffet service, particularly during family-heavy sailings, like school vacation weeks and summer months. Scrambled eggs sitting under warming lamps for hours become dangerous. Kids often load up on eggs at breakfast without checking if they're actually hot. Room temperature eggs are perfect for salmonella growth. Children develop more severe salmonella symptoms than adults, including high fever and dehydration that can require hospitalization. Pasta salad and potato salad sit in the danger zone between cold and hot temperatures. Mayonnaise-based salads spoil quickly. Kids pile these onto plates without considering how long they've been sitting out. Fruits cut hours earlier and displayed on buffets have been exposed to countless coughs, sneezes, and unwashed hands reaching across them. The solution is using main dining rooms where food is plated directly from the kitchen. If you must use buffets, go during off-peak times when food is freshest and fewer people have touched serving implements. Raw cookie dough and cake batter from specialty dessert stations attract kids like magnets. Some cruise ships offer build-your-own dessert stations where kids can add various toppings, including cookie dough pieces or batter for decoration. Raw flour carries E. coli risk. A 2023 outbreak traced to raw cookie dough sickened over 60 people, including 23 children. Raw eggs and batter pose salmonella risk. Children's natural curiosity means they'll taste these items despite warnings. Kids see dough and batter as treats, not as uncooked ingredients that require heat treatment to be safe. Even small amounts can cause illness. A child licking their fingers after touching raw dough transfers enough bacteria to cause symptoms within 12 to 48 hours. Look for cruise lines that use heat-treated flour and pasteurized eggs in any raw dough products offered to kids. Better yet, steer children toward fully cooked desserts and explain that dough needs baking to be safe to eat. Shared condiment bottles and dispensers present massive cross-contamination risks. Ketchup bottles, mustard dispensers, syrup pourers, kids touch these constantly. Unlike adults who might grab a bottle, dispense, and move on, kids often struggle with bottles. They touch the openings. They set bottles down in food spills, then pick them up again. They don't think about washing hands before or after. Norovirus and rotavirus both transfer efficiently through condiment containers. These viruses cause particularly severe vomiting in children under 5. The violent vomiting can lead to dangerous dehydration much faster in small bodies than in adults. A documented case from 2024 involved 17 children on one cruise developing gastroenteritis, traced back to a single syrup dispenser. At the breakfast buffet, an infected child had touched the dispenser handle. His viral load was so high that subsequent users became infected through that single contaminated touch point. Request individual condiment packets from servers or have servers add condiments directly to your child's plate. If bottles must be used, help younger children with dispensing and make them wash hands immediately. After, carry antibacterial wipes to clean bottle surfaces before use. Poolside food from snack bars near the main pool areas carries elevated risk for kids. Children go from pool to snack bar and back without proper hand washing. They're often still wet. They're definitely excited and rushing. Food safety becomes an afterthought. Hot dogs, hamburgers, and chicken fingers sit under warming lamps for extended periods during peak pool hours. Internal temperatures drop into the danger zone where bacteria multiply. Kids are hungry from swimming and will eat lukewarm food without questioning whether it reached safe temperatures. French fries and chicken nuggets often sit in warming bins for too long. The outside feels hot, but the inside has cooled. Children won't notice or care about temperature inconsistencies. Fruit cut for poolside service sits exposed to outdoor temperatures, sunshine, and dozens of kids with wet hands grabbing pieces. Watermelon, pineapple, and melon slices become bacterial habitats when held at warm temperatures. Schedule pool time so kids aren't eating at peak rush hours when food has been sitting longest. Better yet, take kids back to the cabin or to an indoor restaurant for proper meals, rather than relying on poolside snacks. Specialty kids' menu items containing mayonnaise or dairy sauces require extra caution. Kids' menus often feature creamy mac and cheese, chicken tenders with special dipping sauces, and sandwiches with mayonnaise-based spreads. These items spoil rapidly if not maintained at proper temperatures. Mayonnaise separates and becomes unsafe much faster in warm environments than parents realize. Cruise ships operate in warm climates. Even with air conditioning, food exposed during serving heats up quickly. Dairy-based dipping sauces for chicken fingers or fish sticks grow bacteria rapidly. Kids dip enthusiastically, sometimes using the same piece multiple times, which introduces saliva and bacteria back into communal sauce containers. Clostridium perfringens thrives in prepared foods held at improper temperatures. This bacteria causes severe cramping and diarrhea lasting up to 2 weeks in young children. Cruise medical staff report that C. perfringens accounts for roughly 20% of pediatric foodborne illness cases on ships. Choose items that are served immediately after cooking. Grilled chicken, plain hamburgers, or pizza tend to be safer than items swimming in cream sauces. Request that sauces be served on the side, and watch that your child uses clean utensils for dipping. Sushi and raw fish from buffets should be completely off limits for children. Kids often want to try sushi because it looks interesting, or because they see other kids eating it, but cruise ship buffet sushi creates multiple risk factors that disproportionately affect children. You cannot determine how long sushi has been sitting out. Cruise lines prepare large quantities hours before service. At room temperature, bacteria in raw fish multiply exponentially. Children have less stomach acid than adults. Stomach acid provides the first line of defense against foodborne pathogens. With lower acid levels, children are more susceptible to infections from bacteria in raw fish. Parasites in undercooked or raw fish cause severe gastrointestinal distress. Children's developing digestive systems struggle more with parasitic infections than adult systems. A case from 2023 involved 12 children on a Mediterranean cruise developing symptoms after eating buffet sushi. The sushi had been prepared at 8 a.m. for lunch service starting at noon. By 2 p.m. when these children ate it, the fish had been at unsafe temperatures for 6 hours. The whole fish needs to make absolute rule for kids. If it's not fully cooked with no raw centers, children shouldn't eat it. Order sushi only from specialty restaurants, where chefs prepare it immediately in front of you, and only for children over 12 whose immune systems are more developed. Beyond these 7 specific foods, several general strategies protect kids on cruises. Make hand washing a game or routine that happens before every meal and after every bathroom visit. Kids respond better to consistent routines than occasional reminders. Bring hand sanitizer, but understand it's backup, not primary defense. Soap and water work better against norovirus, which is the main threat on cruise ships. Carry your own kids' utensils and plates if you have very young children. This eliminates worry about sanitization of ship utensils. Pack basic medications, including anti-diarrheal medicine formulated for children's weight, electrolyte replacement powders or packets, and children's pain reliever. These won't prevent illness, but they'll help manage symptoms if your child does get sick. Teach older kids to recognize signs they're getting sick and to tell you immediately. Early reporting to the ship's medical center helps contain outbreaks and gets your child treatment before dehydration becomes serious. If your child develops symptoms, report to the medical center within 2 hours. Cruise lines require reporting because they track outbreaks and implement enhanced cleaning when case numbers rise. Don't feel embarrassed about calling medical staff. They'd rather treat early cases than handle severe dehydration requiring IV fluids. Expect quarantine requirements if your child has norovirus symptoms. Ships quarantine infected passengers and their families to prevent outbreak spread. This typically lasts 48 hours after symptoms resolve. While disappointing, quarantine protects other families from experiencing the same illness. Purchase travel insurance that covers trip interruption and medical expenses. Standard policies often exclude cruise-specific situations. Specialized cruise insurance costs between $80 and $120 for a family of 4 on a 7-day cruise. This small investment provides coverage if illness ruins significant portions of your vacation. Prepare kids mentally before the cruise. Explain that vacation means new foods, but also means being careful about food safety. Kids who understand why rules exist follow them better than kids who just hear, "Don't do that," repeatedly. Make it age-appropriate. Younger kids might understand germs make tummies hurt, while older kids can grasp concepts like bacteria growth and cross-contamination. Use positive framing. Instead of, "You can't have that," explain, "Let's choose this instead because it's safer." Kids resist restrictions, but they'll accept alternatives that feel like choices. Point out safe options enthusiastically. "Look at these amazing cookies that came fresh from the oven." Sounds better than, "You can't have the dough." And the 9-year-old I mentioned at the beginning made a full recovery after his 2 days of quarantine. His parents told me they wished they'd known about soft-serve machine risks before the cruise. They assumed cruise ships had special sanitization for everything. They learned that some risks require parental awareness and intervention regardless of ship protocols. They're planning another cruise next year. This time they'll pack hand sanitizer, skip the soft-serve machine, use dining rooms instead of buffets, and teach their son about the 7 foods to avoid. They're actually more excited about this future cruise because they feel prepared rather than anxious. Your kids deserve an amazing cruise vacation. The ships offer incredible kids clubs, amazing pools, fun activities, and memorable experiences. Food doesn't have to be a source of anxiety. Understanding these 7 high-risk foods and why they're problematic for children specifically lets you make smart choices without ruining the fun. There are still dozens of safe food options available. Kids can absolutely eat well on cruises while staying healthy. The key is knowing what to avoid and teaching your children the basics of safe food choices. With this knowledge, your family can cruise confidently, knowing you've minimized preventable health risks while maximizing vacation enjoyment.